welcome in Inspiring Minds. Interesting info for all of you. Amazing science facts. Number 1. The human stomach can dissolve razor blades. If you ever swallow a razor blade, don't panic. The human body is more capable than you think. Acids are ranked on a scale from 0 to 14. The lower the pH level, the stronger the acid. Human stomach acid is typically 1.0 to 2.0, meaning that it has an incredibly strong pH. In a study published in the journal Gastrointestinal Endoscopy, scientists found that the thickened back of a single edged blade dissolved after 2 hours of immersion in stomach acid. Number 2. Earth's oxygen is produced by the ocean. Have you ever stopped to think where oxygen comes from? Your first thought may be a rainforest, but here's a cool science fact for you. We can thank plant-based marine organisms for all that fresh air, according to the National Oceanic Service. Plankton, seaweed, and other photosynthesizers produce more than half of the world's oxygen. While we may know the answer to this question, scientists still can't explain these other ocean mysteries. Number 3. Animals use Earth's magnetic field for orientation. Lost land animals may not be able to find their way home, but sea animals might. According to the U.S. Geological Survey (USGS), there is evidence that some animals, like sea turtles and salmon, have the ability to sense the Earth's magnetic field and can use this sense for navigation. Though that may sound like science fiction, it's actually science fact, unlike these animal facts that are actually false. Number 4. A cloud can weigh around 1 million pounds. Your childhood dreams of floating on a weightless cloud may not withstand this science fact. The average cumulus cloud can weigh up to 1 million pounds, according to the USGS. That's about as heavy as the world's largest jet when it's completely full of cargo and passengers. Learn more about clouds and why they're so heavy by familiarizing yourself with these facts about rain. Number 5. Soil is full of life. In just 1 teaspoon of soil, there are more microorganisms than people on the planet. Millions of species and billions of organisms, bacteria, algae, microscopic insects, earthworms, beetles, ants, mites, fungi, and more represent the greatest concentration of biomass anywhere on the planet, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. To enrich the soil even more in your own backyard, here's how to make compost at home. Number 6. Hot water freezes than cold water. This may seem counterintuitive, but it's called the Mpemba effect. Scientists now believe this is because the velocities of water particles have a specific disposition while they're hot that allows them to freeze more readily. If proven correct, this finding could also be applied to everyday things, like cooling down electronic devices, according to research out of Universidad Carlos III de Madrid. Number 7. It can rain diamonds on other planets. The atmospheres in Neptune, Uranus, and Saturn have such extreme pressure that they can crystallize carbon atoms and turn them into diamonds, American scientist reports. How do we know this science fact? Researchers were able to create the correct conditions in a lab to prove this occurs on Neptune and Uranus. Separately, other researchers speculate that it may rain as much as 2,200,000 pounds of diamonds on parts of Saturn every year. Number 8. Water can exist in 3 states at once. This is called the triple boil or triple point, and it is a specific temperature and pressure where materials exist as a gas, a liquid, and a solid simultaneously. The triple point, which is also the only situation where all 3 states of matter can coexist, is different for every material, according to the University of California, Santa Cruz. Water reaches its triple point at just above freezing 0.1 degrees Celsius, and at a pressure of 0.006 atm. Number 9. Helium can work against gravity. When helium is cooled to extreme temperatures just a few degrees away from absolute zero, minus 460 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 273 degrees Celsius, it turns into a superfluid, meaning it can flow without friction. It can climb up and over the sides of a glass, and it can leak through molecule-thin cracks in a container. While helium is the second most abundant element in the universe, it may actually be harmful to the human body, one of the many problems with birthday balloons no one talks about. Number 10. Plastic can end up as vanilla flavoring. Researchers have figured out how to transform plastic bottles into vanilla flavoring with genetically engineered bacteria. The authors of the study explain that the demand for vanillin is growing rapidly given that it's found in a wide variety of food, cosmetic, pharmaceutical, cleaning, and herbicide products. But don't expect to be eating plastic, bottle-flavored ice cream anytime soon. This research only demonstrated that this conversion is possible, not whether it is safe for human consumption. Number 11. There were roughly 2.5 billion T-Rexes on Earth, but not all at the same time. Humans have been marveling at the size of T-Rexes ever since first putting a full skeleton together. Now, thanks to research published in April 2021, scientists have a better idea of exactly how many of them once called Earth their temporary home. According to the team at the University of California, Berkeley, approximately 2,500,000,000 of these dinosaurs existed across more than 127,000 generations. Number 12. Men are more likely to be colorblind than women. The genes responsible for the most common type of colorblindness are found on the X chromosome. The National Eye Institute explains. Even if women have the genes on one of their two X chromosomes, a properly functioning gene on the other one makes up for that loss. If men inherit the gene on their only X chromosome, they'll become colorblind. Number 13. Beer is twice as frizzy as champagne. While one flute of champagne produces about 1 million bubbles, a half pint of beer creates around 2 million bubbles, according to a 2021 study published in the journal Ax Omega. So why does this matter? More bubbles result in a more intense flavor. Of course. That's not to say that beer and champagne are in any way comparable to each other in taste. They just happen to be the beverages the researchers selected to compare to their results. For context. Number 14. Humans are capable of producing venom. Believe it or not, while humans do not currently produce venom, technically, we could. In fact, all reptiles and mammals have that capability, according to an article published in the journal Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences. Basically, we have all the tools we need. And it's up to evolution to get us there. We told you these science facts are pretty amazing. Next, check out more did you know facts that are almost hard to believe. Number 15. Bananas are radioactive. Here's a random fact about one of your favorite foods. Bananas contain potassium. And since potassium decays, that makes the yellow fruit slightly radioactive. But don't worry, you need to eat 10 million bananas in one sitting to die of banana-induced radiation poisoning, according to Joe Schwartz, PhD, of McGill University. Don't miss out on these Mandela effect examples, they're seriously mind-bending. Number 16. A laser can get trapped in the water. A cool thing called total internal reflection happens when you point a laser beam at a jet of flowing water. To demonstrate this phenomenon, PBS Learning Media released a video in which a laser is positioned on one side of a clear tank of water. When the light travels through the water, it is slowed by the heavier particles in the water, effectively trapping the laser beam in the water. Even as the water flow is gradually decreased, the laser beam remains contained inside the jet, until it eventually disappears when the water is turned off completely. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe my channel and click bell icon.